You're about to view a video of an assessment undertaken by Joanne Stevens. This assessment is recorded in 3 parts: knowledge evidence and 2 performance evidence tasks. Although you will hear another assessor giving Joanne instructions, you're the observer for each part of this assessment. You must record the evidence presented by Joanne following the assessment instructions. There will be a pause and instructions for you between each assessment task to provide you the opportunity for you to record the observer notes as set out in the assessor instructions. The pre-brief at this stage should have already been conducted prior to the assessment taking place. This is where, amongst other things, you have discussed reasonable adjustment with Joanne regarding her lack of confidence in reading and writing. Although Joanne is fit to undertake the performance tasks, it has been agreed that you'll be recording Joanne's responses for the knowledge evidence task. The first part of this video is Joanne responding to the questions as listed in the knowledge assessment. You must record the answers for Joanne, as this is a verbal assessment task. You can then record the response directly into the assessment or make notes and transfer the response at a later date. The key part here is to record what Joanne responds to each question, as it is the evidence of knowledge.
Hi Joanne, thanks
Hi.
for joining me this afternoon.
No worries.
I'll try not to keep you too long, but we just need to run through the knowledge questions like we discussed earlier in our briefing.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
As ready as I'll ever be.
Excellent. Could you please list 2 types of manual handling equipment that could be used to move or shift materials?
Sure, I could use a trolley or I'd get a forklift.
Question 2. Describe 2 hazards that could be a result of incorrect lifting procedures.
You could have a sore back injury, broken toe. Yeah, we won't talk about that.
Okay, thanks Joanne. Question 3. There is no longer a national standard for object weight regarding lifting. List 2 factors that may need to be taken into consideration when lifting weight in your workplace.
I would check and see how wide it is, get my hands around it, and do I have to lift it? Do I need to do it?
Okay. Question 4. According to your workplace procedure, how would you go about lifting a 10 kilo box? And what about a 40 kilo load, so it covers both individual and team equipment?
Okay, 10 kilos. I mean, I go to the gym all the time. So 10 kilos, I should be fine by myself. 40 kilos. 40 kilos would be a pretty heavy suitcase. I'd probably get another person to help me there, so 2 people.
Okay. For question number 5, I need you to just take a look on your document there, and there's a little safety sign.
Yes.
Briefly explain what you must do when you see this symbol in the workplace, and then can you provide an example of what items in your workplace may require this approach to safe lifting?
Okay, well, I can see caution written at the top, so that's a warning sign to stop. It's a 2-person lift, so I'll probably get somebody else to help me. And an example of that, the spare parts box. Always need help with that.
Thank you. And last question, question 6. List 2 forms of PPE that could be used when undertaking manual handling in the workplace.
My PPE, well, my high-vis vest, and of course my hard hat.
Wonderful. Thank you, Joanne. If you could just sit tight for a few minutes and I'll get back to you.
Great, thank you.
The second part of this video is Joanne conducting the first of 2 trolley lifts. Joanne is required to listen to the observer read out the scenario as recorded in the performance assessment instructions. Joanne has been provided a copy of the Safe Work Procedures and Basic Description Undertake Manual Handling, and a work instruction, and has a range of lifting equipment to choose from. You must directly observe Joanne undertake this task and take notes on the performance to be recorded in the observation checklist. You can record the observation notes directly into the assessment or make notes and transfer at a later date. The key part here is to record what you have observed of Joanne in line with the observation checklist, as this is the evidence of performance.
Okay, so I better check out what the job requirements are for today. Yeah, okay, so I'm moving a 10K box from one side across to the other. Right, got that, that's good to go. I better check the safe work procedure for this job. Okay, right, so I better do my risk assessment now. So I'll get my take 5, I'll just lay these over here. I'll fill in my take 5. Okay, so grab the room. Boxes there. Got some boxes at the back here. Make sure that I'm not going to go too close to the shelf, something might fall off. Okay, this bag might be in my way, so I will remove that bag because it could be a tripping hazard. I'm placing the box over by the bin, so make sure not to trip over that as well. So I'll try this. Eliminated. I better check and see what PPE should I use for the job as well. Well, I have my hard hat already on, my high vis, and when I finish this, I'll put on a pair of gloves also. Okay. Alright, so my site supervisor, just to go through what I've identified today, there are some tripping hazards. The bag here I'm going to remove out of the way so I don't trip over that. I have the equipment on my shoes to use over here on my right hand side, and I'm looking this way right now. And also then I'm going to put on I have my hard hat, I have my high vis, and I'm going to put on some gloves as well before I lift the equipment. Can I get you to sign off on this? Okay, so I better place the safe work procedure down. Now I'm familiar with what is required for the job. I better remove this tripping hazard, so I'll just place this up over in the corner, actually going safely. Better put on my gloves before I touch anything else. Okay, so get my gloves on. Check nothing has changed around the room. Okay, so 10 kilos. I'm going to pick a trolley. Bring that trolley up. Place the box onto it. Okay.
The third part of this video is Joanne conducting the second of 2 trolley lifts. Again, Joanne is required to listen to the assessor read out the scenario as recorded in the performance assessment instructions. Joanne still has access to a copy of the Safe Work Procedure and Basic Description for Undertaking Manual Handling, and a work instruction and a range of lifting equipment to choose from. You must directly observe Joanne undertake this task and take notes on the performance to be recorded in the observation checklist. You can record the observation notes directly into your assessment booklet or make notes and transfer at a later date. The key part here is to record what you have observed of Joanne in line with the observation checklist, as this is the evidence of her performance.
Okay, so I'm here today to move the box. So let's have a look and see the job requirements. How do they want me to do it? All right. Yeah, moving the box from that side over to there. All right, I better go through the safe work procedure for the job. Yeah, okay, so I must wear correct PPE, safe lifting techniques. All right. Okay, now I better complete my risk assessment. I have my take 5 here. Let's have a look around the room. So we have some boxes over here in the corner. I don't want to go too close to this in case anything falls. I'm also going to look and see if we've got a couple of different equipment here. Don't trip over them. Ooh, we got this bag here. That might be in the way. I better remove that so it's not a tripping hazard. Just take that down there. Yeah, once I remove that, that'll be okay. Let's take a bit of my PPE. Well, I have my hard hat. I have my high-vis vest. Safety boots. Okay. So, and I'll put on a pair of gloves once I sign this off as well. Hi, how are you? If you wouldn't mind, I'll just go through the risk assessment with you. So what I've identified so far is we don't want to go too close to the shelves at the back in case anything falls. I'm also going to remove this bag out of the way so we have no tripping hazards. I have my correct PPE, so I'll just get you to sign this off for me. Thank you. Okay, so I've completed my risk assessment. And the safe work procedure, I'll just place that down there now that I'm familiar with that. I better put on my gloves. Okay, right, so let's go and get, I think I'll pick the trolley. 10 kilos, yeah, I'll use the trolley. Okay.
Taking Joanne Stevens to the office, taking Joanne Stevens.
Oh, can you not do without me for 5 minutes? Okay. Right, so let's bring this over. Okay. Just bring it here.
Second call for Joanne Stevens.
Oh, I'm coming!
Second call.
Now it's time to determine if Joanne's knowledge and performance in MEM 11011, undertake manual handling, meets the criteria to a satisfactory or not yet satisfactory standard. The notes you record of Joanne's knowledge and performance for these tasks will be used when you brief the assessor on her performance in Task 3, the post-observation debrief, which you will perform once your notes are finalised while being observed by your assessor. You're now to prepare for that debrief, which you will role play with a peer.